Can I get a business loan with an LLC? The answer is absolutely, and I'll tell you the 3 things you have to know. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we know that if we have a clear plan, anything becomes possible. And if you can have a clear plan, a clear process to create that plan, and a way to create clarity with your partner or spouse, you can drive to amazing heights. All right, so if you're wondering, hey, I'm setting up my new business, or maybe I have an existing business, and I am wondering, as an LLC, can the LLC itself get a loan? The answer is yes, but, as so much there is in the business world, is yes, but, or yes, and. So first off, taking a step back, understanding that the LLC is an independent entity. And when you create an LLC, you're going to get what's called an EIN number, an employer identification number from the IRS. This employer identification number, I like to equate it to a kind of like a social security number for the business. And if that business is only 3 weeks old or even 2 years old, but it has no credit history, well, the likelihood of getting a loan for that is pretty small. Doesn't mean it's not possible, but realistically it's going to be pretty small. So this is where, if you have a great small business banker that you can go and talk to, and we talk about how you find your team of advisors and when you're building your businesses in our books and our courses, when you find that great banker, say, hey, Miss Banker, help me understand, I've got my new LLC here. How can I start building credit for the LLC attached to that new EIN number so that it starts to have its own credit line? Some of my companies that I've had literally for 30 years, I can go out and get a couple $100,000, no problem, hundreds of thousands or more, just on the company's signature alone, because the company has such great credit. It has such a great history. But it's also been around for 30 years and it's got A+ credit, so that makes things a lot easier. When you're starting out, you may not have any of that. And there may be things where you actually take a loan from the bank, even if you don't need it, just to pay it back to show that you've had that. Maybe you can open a small line of credit where you use it, return it, use it, return it, use it, return it. Maybe you could get something where, excuse me, you could get something maybe from your suppliers and you could start to create a little credit line with them. Or maybe it's equipment. You can lease things like that. But what are the things that you can do? Second thing then is to start building credit for that entity. Now the third thing you're going to have to take into account when you're looking at getting a business loan with an LLC is that likely you're going to need co-signers. And most likely you as the individual who's the primary owner of the LLC is going to have to co-sign for some of those loans as you build that credit and as you build the debt. Remember, most bankers don't like to give you money when you need it. They only want to give you money when you don't need it, because that's what's safest to them. So when it means that you're co-signing, I use this as an example. Think if you have a kid and your kid's 17, good kid, done a good job, but they have 0 credit. They want to go out and buy a used car. They have no credit. Nobody's going to give them money. That's where they're going to go, hey, mom, dad, would you mind co-signing using your credit, saying that you're going to guarantee that loan, and then the kid can go maybe buy a car or buy who knows what. We can unfortunately finance everything. But you may have to do the same thing where you as an individual co-sign for the LLC so that the loan is actually in the LLC's name, but you individually are on the hook for it as well as the LLC itself. But when you start to do this, then you're starting, and if you look way downfield, you're looking long term, this gives the opportunity for you to be building credit, for the LLC to be building credit, and eventually they'll be able to stand on its own 2 feet without having to co-sign with you. So ideally you found some value in that, and we talk a lot about here in the book on different financing options, different tools that you can do, but also how to build a great team of advisors and having a great small business accountant and small business banker, focus on small business, that can really help you and negotiate a lot of these things goes a long way. So hopefully you found some value. If you did, please like, subscribe, check it out. Check out some of the other videos on here. If you have questions, reach out. Keep smiling.